It's none of your business. Your business is your school district. Your business is now. The world is coming to an end because California's all fucked up.
It's the other way around. It's none of your business what I do with my kids. You don't get to teach my kids about certain issues like this on LGBTQ at certain age, and in third grade you want to talk about sex and all this stuff. That's none of your business.
Why are you so?
Patrick Bet David brought on this woke idiot Anthony Weiner onto his show, the PBD podcast, here on the Valuetainment YouTube channel, and this is probably the most heated I have ever seen Patrick Bet David get with any one of his guests. This is the most dominant of a performance that I've ever seen Patrick Bet David. He just comes in and he just says, "Hey man, I'm tired of your BS. Here's the facts. Explain them or get the hell out." And Anthony Weiner just absolutely crumbles as Patrick Bet David is putting him in his place here live on the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel. Let's get into this clip here where Patrick Bet David puts this woke idiot Anthony Weiner into his place.
Go back here. Sure. This is not a 3,000-mile away issue. There are school boards all across all 50 states. Pick one where parents are bringing this up, but they're being told no, and they're being pushed back. This book is going to be there.
You've stated that before, and I said, bring me some evidence of that. I've seen more in the other direction.
Bring me some evidence.
I've seen,
no. And then you say, well, I didn't see that.
I've seen thousands of books that have been banned and removed from shelves and libraries all around by legislatures getting over their seats. I don't need to answer this question. Who do you think is more equipped to make these decisions for a local community? The local community school boards and the local community administrators, or legislators a half a state away who don't even represent that district? Who would you think?
I think we've already said that. The people in the school board, but it's not happening.
But what if
that's the issue? It's not happening.
But that's your judgment. The point about 3,000 miles away is you're making a judgment on their ability to do their jobs. I get it. Maybe if I was doing
it's not my judgment. The books are there.
If I went to a school district in Mississippi, I might make different decisions. But I'm a Jew from Brooklyn, so I'm not going to do that.
If the books are in the classroom, that means the parents have lost, and they're in the classrooms in.
Yeah, yes, there might be a book in a classroom in Mississippi that I don't like. I'm a guy from Brooklyn, New York, and what? So maybe let's let the legislature do it. Let's let the governor do it. Maybe we should elect a president who wants to do it. I mean, it's just remember something. You want this perfect formulation of every decision being exactly where Fox News wants it at all times. No, shit's going to get screwed up sometimes.
This is not about Fox News, and I didn't say president, I didn't say legislature.
I know.
You keep going back upstream with that argument.
I'm the other way around. I'm narrowing the scope of conflict to say this is this local area.
No,
I'm
you're
using
broadening
this as an
the scope of argument.
No, I am to make the opposite argument, which I believe is being made here. You're saying we're 3,000 miles away and we don't like a decision being made in a school district in California.
No, you're narrowing.
Granted.
No. You're narrowing the point. Very good, counselor. You're narrowing the point down to 3,000 miles away as if that's the only place it's happening. It's not. The books are in classrooms all across the United States.
My friend, you're saying that over and over again, and I keep trying to make, since we don't have a specific example except the one that's been on the screen, I will make the general argument that it's none of your business. It's none of your business. Your business is your school district. Your business is now. The world is coming to an end because California's all fucked up.
It's the other way around. It's none of your business what I do with my kids. You don't get to teach my kids about certain issues like this on LGBTQ at certain age, and in third grade you want to talk about sex and all this stuff. That's none of your business.
Patrick, why are you so powerless?
That's none of your business.
Patrick, why are you so powerless? What goes on in your kid's school?
No, I'm not powerless.
You're
I
not.
make decisions.
Exactly.
I make decisions. I never feel powerless
exactly.
at all. No.
So why are you saying I'm not doing anything to your kids?
The concept of running for boards, you're 100% right. We did a video talking about, what was the video title, Brandon? We talked about parents, you got to go run for board, and rather than complaining about it, do something about it. Absolutely, we're for it. But to say these types of issues, you're 59 years old, 15 years older than me, in school, when you were 12 years old, did anybody teach you how to give a blowjob?
I don't believe anyone taught me how to give a blowjob, Patrick.
Do you think you needed to learn how to do that at 10 or 12 years old?
I have trouble accessing that part of my memory.
I highly doubt it. You're a very sharp guy. So for me,
I was not a player at 12. Let me guarantee you.
Sucking other boys is dangling is not a player. I'm asking you a question about what it was to, if that was something you needed to learn at the age of 10 or 11 or 12. That part is
Patrick.
How ludicrous is my question right now?
I have an 11-year-old. Ask me about my 11-year-old. That I can answer easily.
But the point is the fact that two things. One, I agree with them. One, I disagree with them. The area I agree with them is the following. Kudos to you for straight up saying, no, I don't support something like that if that was the case. Kudos to you for saying that. Now, number two, kudos to you for saying parents do something about it. They are. And many of these districts, they are. They're fighting. And they're doing
in
their
both
part.
directions.
Yeah.
They're fighting in both. They're fighting to stop book bans, and they're fighting to stop. This is the way it's been in America since the birth of our country.
But we weren't this insane 20 years ago. We weren't this
let's pause on that point.
crazy 30 years ago.
Let's pause on
I
this
can
point.
give you Gallup.
It's so ridiculous, man. Like, it's actually insane, the banning the books argument, where they're like, oh, these right wingers, they want to ban books. Nobody is advocating for banning books. Like, it's completely different. Saying that books shouldn't be shown to certain children in schools, like to say, hey, you know, I would kind of like to decide when my child learns about this stuff, versus saying this book should be illegal for anyone to get. It's completely different. Now, if there are parents, and I would call them sick in the head, if there are parents out there that want to go show their third grader these books, then they can go to the library, they can go get the books on their own time and not show the other children who have different parents that same book. I don't understand why it's an issue to say this shouldn't be shown in school, because the parents have no say over what's shown in school at that point, and they have no, like, they don't know what's happening. The parents should just have control. It's not that the book should be banned and illegal to obtain. It just shouldn't be shown in school. Like, Anthony Weiner is trying to tell Patrick Bet-David right here that he's advocating for banning books. He's saying that this is some like hypocritical argument because right wingers are advocating for freedom of speech, but also for banning books. Nobody's advocating for banning books, dude. We're just saying, as a parent, you should be able to decide when your child learns of these sensitive topics. And honestly, if as a parent you decide that your child should learn about this when they're in third grade, you probably shouldn't be a parent. To be honest, like that's pretty sick in the head, in my opinion. Maybe in the comments you guys let me know if I'm wrong, but this has nothing to do with banning books. It's nothing to do with freedom of speech. If these parents really want their children to learn, they can go to the library and get the books themselves. All Patrick Bet-David and the rest of the PBD podcast panel is saying here to Anthony Weiner is that it shouldn't be outside of the parent's choice on when the child gets to learn of these things and when the child gets access to these books. I don't think that's a ridiculous request at all. In fact, I think it's mentally ill to think that that's anything but a reasonable request.
Research all of this stuff.
Let's pause on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I do believe that, yes, cultural things change, and that conversations about homosexuality, about transgender, about gay marriage have changed an enormous amount. We are a progressive country in all kinds of different ways. But we also should acknowledge that we do have an echo chamber in this country that loves stuff like this. We have at least one candidate for president who one of his stock and trade things is this amorphous word about taking wokeism out. We do have a marketplace that is accelerating these conflicts beyond California, beyond our neighborhood town halls, to be echo chamber types of things that we are here thousands of miles away arguing about them. There's a market for this. I don't believe it's a healthy market, Patrick. I don't. And every week I try to say to my audience, okay, listen, let's try to return to the place that we can have conversations around things like how we structure government, how we make decisions, how we try to find our values expressed in government in ways that don't necessarily, and I can tell you the values in a school board in Mississippi and the values of the school board in Chelsea, New York might be different. We don't have to treat that as a threat to our kids.
So if you like this...
I mean, I just disagree. I don't think that even if it is different, right? Yeah, there probably is a massive difference between what parents in Alabama think their kids should have access to versus what parents in Seattle, think their kids should have access to. That doesn't mean that every parent in Seattle thinks their child should have access to these things. So I still just think, to be safe, I don't understand what the big deal is. To be safe, let's just let parents decide when they get to show their children these sensitive things. Like, why is that so controversial to say? I really don't understand. Once again, it's not saying that if you really want to show your child these things, it's not as if you can't show them. You can still do it. It's just more in your control whenever you do it. I really don't get it. I really don't get the Anthony Weiner argument here. Let me know in the comments, though, what you guys think. Who do you think won this debate? Do you think it's Patrick Bet-David and the PBD podcast crew, or do you think Anthony Weiner made some good points here on the PBD podcast? Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this clip here from the PBD podcast and the Valuetainment YouTube channel.